Everybody, I want to hear you. Let's go. Come on. One more time. Come on. I like it from Aka on guitar. I can't hear you. Break it down. I want to hear that. Let's go. Come on. Oh, that's so. I want to hear the man. Oh, that's hermano. Hermano. Oh, that's so. Oh, that's so.
Me mama jo me tie fu adofo me mama jo mu pomu ye ye da nyankopon asese obia mpomu ye te se de mi mpomu ye ye da nyankopon asese ode na watwi eso adom ye ama ahoden ewo honum na me da obi bia se na watwi bia moje bre na mode hwe nokware no nie nyankopon hyira obia na ansa na dwumadi ebefeti ase no meda me papa mpanfo bi ase eye nana boaten osei MPP you can say director or Germany Anna Dr. Lawrence Apia eso medana say friends of Mahama or non you can say convener ene mpanyifo ahodo bebrement me ama din afache me na mesan so ada ama omo a omo wie you can say wasi no omo awie no enyina me obi atiri kwa Kumasi girls mesra mo me follow say there no exams inti mo ahye me bo a mo nto ato aso na mo nhwe na mo follow fan base no mo follow Today Ghana News na every week bia me build mu nyina na maba be politics nibi na so MPP o NDC no afemu aba na wafa bi nti obi a betimi ahwe bi any party awo obetimi ahwe bi because miss political talk show debatable debate talk show ntino obi a betimi aflo na waye yi nti na ha na ye wadwuma na eno onamfofo no mon start na mon hwe Today Ghana News Nokware No Nie any de be interesting mo bebre ye wadwuma de bebre ewo afidie yi so nti no ansa na ye be hyaase no meka ye tiefo say dwumadie etwa go live ewo Aslina TV Madiza fan page so ewo Facebook any Instagram into ubeko Today Ghana News Instagram so any Facebook ana YouTube na mesra mo munya na ma share ninya group you can say link na me share amamo a ya mo se munhu no eno no later u adwuma m kura wonya bra na wako na wato bo ase wo down pem na wo dwedwe ho na wa share amame na wa like na wa comment minya adaje a enne na me reply obi a nyankopon hira obi bia na enne dwumadie me guest a omoba Mr. Michael Arthur ana Mr. Evans Dakun Mr. Evans Dakun MDC communication member of France epacho minya be ma ho fe me ma waji o
minya ba misumpe na ndiri se won so ho ye ane Ghana phone na wati
yanko pardon
yo
and na Mr. Michael Arthur say MacArthur minya be ma na de anya izo
oba hima
o feye
o ho aye fe mo o de wo ne se o strength se nsroma no o strength yes I think so and what ho aye fe ye
me da se
ti dan koma be ma ogina wachi ebo ochi dom se tumedi wo su betimi edi no adi ni kama ene ho aye fe papa
me da se me catch omodo senti me catch ra omo
hey guy my diza
ai it's me da obi bia se na me da me distance friend me da na say ewo gift na or this thing me on there on pese ebebo ni din o Jehovah Witness ebo ni din a obewu ena me da obi bia se na na hema ni ana minua be ma Joe esoso me da na CP nti na ene no yen semre kra na ye dwumadie no ebe hyehye so meka ye topic no ye kan say akre ye tiefo ye say Macho Kalka's family atedra reject committee reports kaka a family near almost say omonje report into na ye baby sa ho asam afe wasi efo no so constant wasi examination leakages and also wasi no the beti ane say esi bibia leaky pa most especially free SHS for we there ababa be yet the norm of day just say omode omuti de ani timiliki sa intino ye behwe enu hu ene de keka ho na ye beka ho asam intino yes semre kra obi a why ready bia in no particular order na obeba na ya ye ne na hyase nti Mr. Evans why ready ana say Mark Ata aye ready nti say Mark Ata me pacho questions here koma mumienu nyina any say you say how did the Ejura committee report come to you? And know your first question no. And a second one, so yeah, do you have a feeling that the committee was set up for a cover up? And what could be the interest? Second question, no. Anna, last question, so yes, what do you make specifically on the recommendation that said nothing about the Ashanti regional minister? If he says Semekaya, Ashanti regional minister no etu nanum to say onumpo ana sending military men ne call ho. Intina say onimhu bi on the sending ema ne ko but report ne ba ni di ba kokra ni. Onumpo de ya amoni din ni akase ya clear no or not. Intini me pacho na wachire mu ama enti no. Se me hwe na me question we ani ba ko ano amesa atimu na yae.
Yo, Emadiza medasi bebre. Mamemfa akwanya we so na dedi kan. Menchia eye Nokware No Nie atifu nyina obi bia sabri waje brese o hwe programming ba bibia wo bia enanyumre enchia kese pa enko enfama. Maka ni sawie no mechia eye His Excellency Nana Adodankwa Akufo-Addo, the President of Ghana. Mechiano, enanyumri, esan se yem papa no or boy juma dene. Juma, juma papa ne ebono. Ade se eso ni yi pa. Nze papa obe tena akonya isu no, osi ono sebi on tena eye ne toso ewo ne office. Osi krom no ohwe juma eye na appointees eye. Oshe oko Ashanti region ejuma ekoso wo ho Eastern region ejuma ekoso wo ho emadiza eso ni yepa nti nanyumre enchia kese enko emfama eye yem papa Nana Adodankwa Akufo-Addo afensu enne the digital man eye His Excellency Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia enne eye ni birthday enne so no oshe eye ensem papa amanfo kanfa papa ho a ekire dwumadia papa de edi nti me so me gina sa akwanya iso na ma wehye yem papa no happy birthday na yasre se onyankopon emma no ahoden ne dwuma pa nyamedini di boa se Ghana man ebetimi etumpon no nyankopon hye ne dene me de da bia me ka me si papa no oye nyame ama Nyankopon and the dino amma of my Ghana. Irrespective of your political affiliation, Papa no Juma would no idea say so any year pa. No question is sabre we share the transformational agenda also in Ghana in terms of digitizing our economy. Papa odimutinti mind and Juma all bono. Ye bompa yes in Yankupon because we are bono by. No what me akos we decide jumano enti no His Excellency Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia enanyumre me Michael Arthur baby a obeti me every bia no me wish you happy birthday na every one nenso no emse enam branch bi so enam enya akwanya emadiza me decide juman enti akese komma Germany MPP branch nititu me boss Nana Boatin communication director and Chiakese and confirmano afe so communication team members ni na Nana Benyi Opon Thomas Boampon omo maka nyina nchia and confirma omo and amianka san so chapter your friend say Frankfurt chapter into me chapter mpanimfo nyina so enchia enko enfamom nen maziza em say asemo ane odi aba no o see kaka Ebusiafo I rejected the committee's report. Now, in my opinion, Ansana Obibetimiaka say or rejected sa report we know. na ɛwɔ sɛ ne nyina so ɛwɔ the terms of reference say ɔmode ma committee no na say all of us as a people and now say those of us in the media space no asɛm no ba ni nyinaa no committee ne tena se from the beginning till the end ɔmo wie ɔmo enquiries ni ade no the perception especially the media atoato mu ni say as if the committee's work was all about Kake's death, which is not the case. The committee's work was not based on Kake's death alone. Me progressing with my comments. No, let me put it that way. At least I would try and refresh the minds of Yetiefo on the reference. I'm saying the first year or say conduct a public inquiry into the circumstance that led to the occurrence at Edra in the Ashanti region on Tuesday, 29th June 2021. That is the first reference. That is the first reference. Then the second reference, I said, inquire into any other matter. Any other matter the committee considers incidental or reasonably related to the course of the events on 29th of July 2021. Incidental leading to the course, one of them, the issue of Kaka Niwu. And at the end of the day, the committee establishes and one of the reasons that trigger the incidents are a course on 29th. So, but that's the media, any people commenting about the issue, and I said the work of the committee, no manakwa kwayese, and Kaka warning thing you setting up the committee. But that is not the case. That is the first point I want to raise. Now, say no every one man, Emadiza. Say family enyina so almost omode reject so almost spokesperson. Your friend say na few and kasa on behalf of the family. Na enyina so edikan and he said, or see, going through the document, you realize that there are a lot of factual inaccuracies. Asem nipo eno osan to aso. Ese nipa na ye adwuma nipa nan na nipa kwotena omanim nti omadwe nkyere na omudi aba. Mitie ne nkasa ye what I was expecting and he said enka obe make reference to a particular statement in the report. Say these are factual inaccuracies. Me reading the report where I see factual inaccuracies, testimonial amount for the MI, and on that score I will agree with him because some of the witnesses were not forthcoming with the truth. There were some form of inaccuracies in their testimonies, and report findings are they made references to some of the inaccuracies in the witnesses now mobile statement so if that is the point the family wants to base on to reject it, then me imagine say the committee largely dealt with the inaccuracies now what witnesses with their findings. When you go to the findings of the committee's reporter, inaccuracies they made specific references to some of them. Any dear family I refer to I think in my mind they are not doing justice to the report itself. And me huni say almost spokesperson no in his statement no okay baby or say they will study and take further action. So it means that before coming out in the crano, now omunyanya botre entnase and go through the report thoroughly. Said the bay on betting who dear a was a mobile bontian casabeka. But me feel say most of the time, the air question is we listen to a lot of issues happening in the media space. Na dudwana jinaso kasa wa bra yenya botre en gene die pesi e ka ho enya botre nya nhwehwe mu en kwasiase ansa na ye obi bia e be ka aba be de aba be ka but me ka ni say no so no mesan agina ehwa na mabo eye spokesperson aba so in one way because of say and some na omudi aba no most of the witnesses no by so mobile be dia omubai so omuba be de omuba be diatro diatro no mra kwa so no omude be de omude be fa so they will sit to address those issues at the law court, which I think is perfect. And as a people, this should give us the hope say when we have issues, when we have challenges, the best thing we do is to go through the right channels, a bit me address it your grievances. No, for them to say they will go to the law court, make sure those inaccuracies are in some of the witness statements by I think say it is in order. And mebo a branch na okasama abusiano abasu ye pa. Na me this amasem no may we say na free hono. Me share from certain perspectives. And the first one I will consider the media and the reportage. At the time kaka incident no the ebaye no. Meaning say ya bo sansem hu bebre ama nipa bebre ayede. So we share issue no said yesi kobaye na. When you look at this media space, the issue was that Kaka was a member of Fix the Country a group, no, and that is the reason why Ama Abrantie no Obi Akoye no Bonnie and that was the discussion na atiki the media space. So now images as a who read the report now. I think said the report revelation Abani said Kaka's death has nothing to do with his activism. That is the report that was CCA. So I expect
from him.
Mbacha will say
Me say me patch up from him.
Mbacha say oh report now. And Kamepe say overcourt the recommendations and I said findings. That is the findings. But mami ain't ready that aspect, you know. Na IT because very profound for this particular discussion. So we findings now. Very, very profound. It Emma design me as I go through the report. On say a 55-page report. A idea say report ebi wo mu ye pa.
Many cry hammer the
it tells you the work the committee did. So it tells you the work a committee needed a year. Intino so me say obi rubbish a juma committee near na idea a yama humiti pa. Now, or see in relation to events leading to Kaka's death. The wife informed the committee that no, I think that's not the one. Let me look for that one. But in order not to waste the answer, spoil the ears of
bet me the about final submission.
Exactly. Made me the about me. And you know, the attorney said the committee made it clear. Say, Kaka ni no, it has nothing to do with the social media activism. No, no. That is the statement from the report. So, and you know, we in the media space, you know, sometimes the commentaries we make, the way we report issues when they come up, you know, I think that the media should be very circumspect when it comes to reporting on issues. Because most of the media personalities now, and I said media firms and I media groups, you know, I said they always want to rush in putting stories, making breaking, and it take a center stage of some of the things I did better. At the end of the day, no shishemu bebano na kwa say ye pray ho and ye didn't send be day ebetuja and what so the people in media space no I was say yes and asem no so buy no sha a particular media station bi and I hear day e di asem no buy e ma omo ye day omo ekofa report na the attorney say no ye key one the person who reported the story no ye key witness Erastus Asaredonko na me read ne witness statement on Maya or say no and 3 other people they were invited to cover a planned protest, which means before they go to Edrano, that they had a fair idea of what was happening in Edra. So, and that is what makes it very evident, say, na amount for say a year because of Kaka or a member of Face the Country, and say, only evidence or the man say they were invited to go and cover a planned protest, not just because they had a foreknowledge about events and sometimes my advice to all the media personnel and our persons, they say we should be very careful of the kind of statement I put to in the public domain, because the media is there to educate, the media is there to entertain, and the media is there to make sure say stories are publicized. Said at the end of the day, you bring accurate information. But into media to some extent, make us say media no arm this particular issue. Because a man koye deja say a branch no fix the country member.
Country.
Sir. No major honum na maka say. One, it is one problem I have with the report. Say that was a foreknowledge. The committee knew about that statement, but at the end of the day, they were not emphatic.
It's me pacha ube rapo amaye because a brene ya e break.
Oh, Emma, these are
hey, macho bebre kra.
Oh, me ko na poso Mr. Mami
just o final conclusion anya say ebe tiawa.
Mpacho mate intino maka media de na wie no ma membra security services no so reading the report I think say one area me who said there were a lot of lapses with the security services any or more in terms of gathering of intelligence. And so read the report now. There is one retired kind of be the information or the I think say they are very, very profound, they are very emphatic. And OSHA report no so it goes in the direction of criticizing the security service, and I think it is rightly so, because OSHA and someone omo ye security persons no buy evidence omo de buy no me no me read the report na me share omo information omo de buy na enye dey ensisi so because one mo say before amo be call funeral cemetery
Obreno aye bre
my designer there in fact what bomb ashemu pa o
nti no on say ai share say okorhe a obunu time na say medie ni nyina amede ma o
mpacho mate wo de mami channel snappy enti ehonom no ade say me wo problem kakra with security for no enti say committee no can say omo dwumadie no ansania any recommendations omo de bae no concerning the security operations no I think say it is in order. Then key witnesses no so nsama omo de bae no ehona na make say obi ti say Erastus nsama obeka MCE no nsama okan I think say report no and dealing with all the aspects of MCE nasem and na wo kan regional minister and so and some no I think say regional minister and some no was also corrupt. It was confirmed by other security persons. And for me, yes, as a regional minister, the Nenka was say ninsem no etimi take a key part of such a report. On that
note,
said we see
on that another 2 minutes better so and still counting me that se pa nyame nshira
me that say my diza
yo tie for ye beko minua be ma Ivan so ti minua be ma mpacha se questions ni nyina wote
yo metini nyina bepe
e pa cho yo
ne dikan emeka se radin sha na amount kwatenten only offense
amen
bit say amarozi and said because say munya bre hyehyamre mai na isi ya na ya doing Ghana for ya Ghana issues nti medasini akonya na medina fidie so say bio edinche modern ama ye excessively don domani mahama any NDC parliamentarians you say afi in the history of Ghana I think that Fourth Republic as a position when you because I buy a moment of time pa issue back what na ye kan has no for about corruption me am born as say one moment of time but when I born modern one so say Ghana nyinam say when I born modern proper na me did not trend this phobia say you see the be America say obi ni nani mas NDC you see na aban also clear indication just as one saying said international report say one new aban and one confirm in the history of Ghana aban in history what publishing and one year free there be a mekoso kasa asem we aban said you can corruption one sim project away nti na said you penifon so ema we trust in you follow ne bit say NDC France chairman and I found that na okay but the number maximum and member to say Freeman I could go and Dr. Lawrence Apia Dr. Medasi P na yanko Mr. Aqua UK my younger issue neso nini ya kase bi pre na unse ne kase mu nyina no ka ko say ogito mo say a report no report no o ha wo into bibia no be report you be say pepe bia no you be on kanokre nesa on kanokre so on te oyawa abusuafo ne de ekom
sa
re who say report me fan sen me the report me ka say madam for be say enkusifu I don't think I make us I never saw a report by just a short report. Emily Short did a good work compared to this one. Government cover it with a white paper. So what I say? Say be boy sitting MP so throw obedient extra. With someone and you're holding responsible. Into baby I see young far people and the media work community. Let's go straight to the point. the security system in the country is very porous, as you can say. And why a dream to say, Negana even Intinanke, a best say, leadership, by example, His Excellency Kufuado, and Canadian Nessa obey. Don't show the people the wrongdoers. But what is happening per the report which says the government is protecting and shielding the people, especially the top politicians. You see, now maybe if you so the photograph Myanmar soldier for ne said you are posted for when threatening on so for. So the amount order say shoot here, use your conscience. Because I said bit you the 2 year or 2 year of the bone you pay. So we be an hour and can you ever say you yen a month from court nas nipa a cuckoo down 4. Now I'm going to report to women to her. But yen 4 don't tenacity as on mine. Now me inquire say, no more burning will be a bonnet yen. Now what you do no cum pay. I don't know where do we go as a country. You see, Emma, men come report Naples. Report on a 55 page. And my kind in Navy. Now it confirms and the millions are confirmed. It is flawed recommendation. Recommendation quite simply because I didn't yet need to. So what you miss what that your will be your work could say class when you put from pen or got a session on cashier. Knitting the same thing. What kind of report you need and you need to. It do better not question especially honestly, you see sometimes Anna is very painful because there's security at stake as we in Ghana. Obi Obeka said Ghana is very safe here. On kind of correct. Internet can present same we are ban. From a nationalistic point of view, say report to paper out. What is the value added that is going to solve the national problem? Benji Emma, we say as I said you, Muna say committee you are one car say free.
Etua moka.
Hey, and they are boka. Because data makers Emma report we no. Ye ko ni masoman. The security issue one emulation to the aba. Ya to akome and so very. Amount wo kwa. Election by ye ko nipa 8. And we can have some money. So when people commit crime with impunity, see, that's one just out, that's one go scot free at the expense of the poor and the ordinary Ghanaian. What is the leadership here? So therefore, we keep on always appointing people to, undertake this kind of report Duma. Then we are wasting money. Are you getting my point? Yes, Sika. But I'm not from Sika, do a man. Or money more than American say. A bit said Dr. Vladimir entry down so. A bit say Justice George Kumsin. And Penfophobia, we are looking up to them. We hope that their expertise, no experience, and to come forth, Senka, and this is signed by in aspect of money bono, the security, and I say, that's what be bet. Say, yet, when mamma say, more money and couldn't number the report to her. Me a queen man I say about. Here, 28 findings and 10 recommendations. In my hair, I was informed when they can. Na yama yako. Na yama said you once we go in 2020 election, yamobia yako. Now, this is a warning and a signal to the people say, very soon one day, there will be accountability for those who say you. They have power to intimidate and kill ordinary Ghanaian because of power. Well, there is for human life. Now, my phone call recommendation can come some remedy. Okay, recommendation 10 and na me kind na me tia na me boyfriend. You see, what reference now one day back? Young boy say again na tell reference so and was again they see ma kaka e woni ba any disturbance by. Report you kind of offense recommendation for a fund funding for or see kaka wono e buy and it will disturbances e buy. Inti Vladimir Ekasa TV say or see any kaka wono na one day one can was which is not true. But we read the entire report now. The findings in the recommendation now is heading to Kaka. So if I don't know, a bit to say a fencing, Honorable Regional Minister, Honorable Simon Ose, you issue a command as if we are going to war. The Central Command, the 4th Fencing Infantry Battalion was, all deployed. Report and say it is unnecessary. Now, what I say unnecessary, we one outcome. Once I'm a recommendation say, oh, and this idea, you transfer honorable, and transfer DCOP, FNSN, Philip Hammond. Somebody is dead. And then America say, what is the value added out of this report? Because he could Ghanaian, the poor Ghanaian, because Mekasa Kakayari no, I got that hospital. MPP, NDC FNSN, what do you call him? Parliamentary candidate in a coma 1,000 medical hospital. This is a poor family. And this will be the best we can do to punish the wrongdoers is to transfer them. A similar thing happened with Honorable Hawkins in Quarter 2. See, I don't have the case near transfer. And they say, well, yes, sir, what are you bringing on board as a leader? When you say that people are suffering, people are committing crime and going scot-free. Now, as the country, how do we progress? If you say we could be up on check back, 5 years, we'll be able to work, we'll be not free. Think about this. So sometimes when you talk about it in political terms, it doesn't really make a point. I say, Command said, Yensi Sports and Recreational Center, and what a now you've no and channel when energy alcohol. You see? Report to affairs, Mawaka. Obiu Nokware report to any issue there by now. Oh, catch Ghana for say you Ghana for me. The report is trying to say, Yana more than yes, in the increase sport. The problem is job. People are not looking for a place to play. What is the problem? Kaka was reporting bad rules. Kaka was reporting the evils. Reporting so I can confirm or sex say. Kaka Adam for a some confirm this guy Omar a big wakas. Let's see. Kaka can Macon report himself. MCE, former MCE, 2 bodyguard, Salis Bamba, any and now we are pretty up we see when Beku. Kaka can video or to that effect. Nothing evidence we now or nothing we can we now report no we have a bit not on what to papa say. The first thing said, young capacity abusia. We will say, and yes, idea for saying woman and the first woman or the statement my police. I also at the scene who say a nipa me no at the a granino. What is the first statement? Emma, I say when you send you, it is another attempt to shoot and protect, killers here and a madrasa. It's easy. You can just go and take a DNA from the 2 sticks. Menoka said just last week before prior investigation caution. The police went there again. You can just conduct a DNA at the crime scene to confirm, say, indeed, if say FNSN 2 MC bodyguards in the Kuna and answer them. Report now confirm say Kaka MPP bodyguards in so Ampa. They were FNSN MC guys. I feel they were now relying on the story say Kaka was killed by family. Then my main FNSN, Madam Sahudu, I confirm say they were at peace. But doctor report you findings here. Or based on one guy be Aminu. Aminu was not in the country when the issue happened. It's like another same because Aminu, Namo Burkina Faso, and I'm not going to make actually a friend and Kakasa only brain free prison. It doesn't make sense, excuse me to say that. Into report in there, see it here in Kaya Boka. Into report in there, a flooded findings. Any national be any standardized compared to offense a malicious report. And I do value beer to young man going forward as a country. What do we keep on wasting our money? Now, what you recommend is say, you see a baby Diago, say you. The problem in the country is what we are looking for solutions. So, if say this guy involved in social activism and I'm in the war, what do we do as a country? Suggest something that will solve the problem, but you don't come to, empty. It's an empty report. We are changing human life. If you say human life is less valuable, then what the president could have done say, because it's not possible. That is why we need to let people account for what happened. And this will be a deterrent for others. But ask yourself, did they report anything like that? So people are being protected and shielded. And gradually, the law is being broken down. And this government is promoting that. Because I'm sat here,
summing up in 2 minutes, Samamino.
Me more example. Honorable how come see issue no? Ekusi sen, anya ankusiaka. You must say high court since sitting and a data force of we when coffee when ekusi sen. The offense, data force and offensive vigilante of the government have infiltrated into the security apparatus. And that causes problem, but as the leader, you should bring them to book so that to serve as a deterrent to the people. Because all this detriment, it is the poor people have been affected. You see, these people say when you say when protected this evildoers, is it the report we should have? Is it the kind of leadership? The president should come out. My brother Michael is speaking for the government. On my instance, whereby those who have been, commit crime are being punished. So, in short, what they are trying to do is to delink the death of Kaka from the entire issue. But it's not possible because all the evidences are provided, proving, say, what the security couples did. They lied to the defense, the committee. We have evidences there. Why don't you use those evidences? Why are you just beating about the bush with this report? So, this year, an American say, report in a premeditated report because they know what they want to achieve. They want to show these guys, and then the link, the Kaka's death, it is the link up. We cannot delink it. It is real. Say he was killed because of it. They use the word probably. Now, in my program, will be a committee crime. Do we use probability as a judge? Who is the Justice George Kumsin? There's a crime. There's a high evidence. There's a physical evidence. So why do you use probability to solve this problem? Now we be anti-man can say for you and DB. Now high couple be to say Lieutenant Edu say when they are going scot free. When can confirm a report to say when breachy and I say when you follow the procedure to manage offense crime what do you call it? Crowd control and management. So people are being just wiped because somebody's negligence and incompetence, and you didn't say anything about it. So this report is very flooded. Thank you.
Thank you. Na answer na yebeto aso ama say makata aba no. Kwabena Jamie nuabe ma ehwe ama santoa Mr. Benjamin Pabiti Opon Oduku Mohammed Awa Abongo Masud Thomas Buampon Nana Beyin by Wachemuko Anna Hilde Wa na answer na yebeba ye second way so na Opon Oduku said the NDC is always trying to score cheap political points. It's high time they face the reality and tell Ghanaians the truth. Anna Thomas Buampong also said greetings to Evans. Our son so see Evans, oh yeah, a propagandist. Anna Uncle Benjamin so say watching with you. Tete Gibson so say well done, my younger brother. Comrade Evans, and also NDC. Pato the French men try. Into no, maybe into Yabama, Mr. Se Makata. Abana, Wabetua Swama and San Yede, Jumedian, a Fedi Hono Ediaba.
Yo, Emma Diza.
Semakata into no ha. In 10 minutes, no,
Minia Evans. Sɛ ne nsɛm na ɔkae no maadwene mu no nsisi so papa ade nti na mekasa ɔkyerɛ sɛ abi dino abi wakas ne nsɛm a ɔno ɛkae no evidence a ɔmaayɛ no ɛno so na committee no egyinaeɛ ɛde saa report yi ɛbaeɛ. That is one. Ɛna ɔsi aminu ɛnso so evidence a ɔmaayɛ no and no the core of and someone committee no at the buy. I think say that is factually incorrect. Adentina make us our share or no nasama or kaya evidence or maya eye aminu no nipa miensa ena eka sa asem no. The same thing anase enam ono so ne kwan so eye co-tenant no obi ene ne yire so ho and eye Fuseni Ibrahim ena afi so no Sadia Fuseni omo no eye awarefo ena Muniratu Ahasa enso so omo evidence a omo di maaye no eno ne the core of eye committee no ensem a omo di baaye ena omo making reference to Kaka eyire nso so ensem a oye de obeka ye. One, Kaka yire suggest say there was threats on Kaka. And afi so no party members be any ninya entokwa. Okan say wonim nipa no. But committee anymore tonight went to me and more a single person's name. Say nipa space ena Kaka any near day ekon ye ana or threaten Kaka life.
Ebia no osuro.
Ema diza ebia no osuro de ye de kan asem saying. Sebi asem asi nipa asem fa no ho no enye obi hunu ukunu intini sesa ensem we wunimu a I believe send kokotna community nanim no ya wo so sisu di aka se kwadwu manu adwo amansa ya bruwa eni nipa omo threaten eye mikunu enti misusu se omo threats enti na ama mikunu aye degu o kan no tra wenti mi anye dey. All that she said was speculative, and that is enshrined in this report. So, and the report they gave, and I said, findings, no, they said, say, all the things are, or no, any kakania bermano ekaino, they were more of speculations than being factual. But a yes, nipa miensa a ye co-tenant no omunsema omukae they were very, very specific. Intino minu yansema okae no I think say he spoke out of primitive and I say pre-oriented mindset be and or they can't name somehow the organ. But I made reference to the reference I did my committee no Okasan were making any reference to that, but the committee was given a specific assignment and they couldn't have gone outside their jurisdiction. So Intiminiano Asama Wakano, he should come back now on trace references I did my a year committee no did they go outside that reference? Were they able to meet that requirement nana? And reading the point, the report on largely, the answer is yes. Largely, the answer is yes. In Timiniano, the security issues near the idea of you see, your political opponents, they want to base on every situation and try to make say the upon Oduku kind of score political points. And sometimes a foothold in say, if you wish a government to collapse, and that is what happens. NDC will always go along the propaganda way. Now, make a situation in Luku as if say Ghana sebe eda ejem, which is never the case. Ghana and nejem intiniminia misrao Ghana asumdie wo Ghana pa. What you say? If you are talking of countries in Africa asumdie wo no ma Ghana yeni kan kra ye to so be mienu intino asumdie wo manum. Yes, I agree. Say security issues here ade wo. And most of these things in so Emma Adiza, the attorney say it is staged by people. And recent a year armed robbery cases also ewo Accra. It is come out say a year most of these things are being staged. Video wow. And sometimes when you hear of it, it's so pathetic. So when we say yeah, obi yeah the obi akwa jina traffic light ni esi fa bag bra na obi jina motor so no atwen ama traffic light traffic light aso ansa no
yeah mahwe
Where does this happen? You see, and people are staging all of these things just to create impressions. Say, "Oh, my name Why do we do this to ourselves as a people?"
Makata, and only the America a CCTV camera, a whole road in the capture you.
And yet CCTV, Emadiza, that is not. It was a recorded video. It's not captured by CCTV.
Wow.
A recorded video. So, yes, the echoes were me, my mind. I always say, Bibi I want my government to succeed. Until we have to say it. So, I was here. Now on mine, that is the way to go. But not just creating non-existent, your friend is saying, situations. Now, to the media space. Now, can as if say Ghana at the gym. That is not what is happening. That is not what is happening. I agree. Say a near man in but at least there are a lot of positives. I bet me a derive as of mine near working on it. I better said the engine. We are a developing country. Into this issues there, but they make what must say. But let us not create non-existent issues and propagate it. Minimum money in Ghana, that is not what is happening. For me, the report, you cannot write the report out. Me and rubbish report, what I say outrightly. I agree. Say and you may be many or more you can say that, and yet everything and correct. If you can probe further and no bisa questions, which I agree. But largely, they met the recommendations and I say the demands are and our references say they met it. Largely, they met it. That is the story. Don't let us twist the issue and make it sound like I said they were there just to have fun and they never brought out anything good. That is not true. Medasi bebre madiza.
Me pacho yo medasi pa we dia wo dia hyem wo ha amaye. Inti no me nua be ma Evans wo wa ye betwa eso ono so on 10 minutes or di be rapport up the first way no.
No say yo medami nua atase. Na
I final conclusion on the first topic.
When many people at baby or say inaccuracy. And so no say he agrees largely report tonight then or how and then besides specific. What is the value added? It's report or how benefiting your solve. Why the findings when interview Kofu baby now I'm finding call under honorable Bamba. Uncle paragraph, I think the paragraph 3. He told the committee that the suspect had been arrested in connection with the murder of Kaka. Hassan and Ayas were party members he knew. He admitted that he socializes with them. So, Mr. American, in a report you so. And I go to in a report you so. You see, and can interview why I think say it be a some person based analysis on the interview of these 22 people now. Okay, fine. But we say interview we now you start findings now. And your recommendation now put the buy. Insist so any so and reflect it. So what I say? You're sitting at the disturbance but then a defense a kaka will buy. Your recommendation as a young transfer will be a kunipa.
Me pacha o camera na off. Yet so voice in a
My camera no off. But you me, are you okay?
Me who a blank.
Baudine
the other camera.
Bemide me whom?
Me.
Yeah, me correct.
Yeah, me na Mayrana.
You see, in Emma, I had not when my young Nokware. Yanka said Ghana. Ghana, ye may na say also per se your security issues are some near so security issues are near can say one intimacy nasi and then I end this way per se You're turning their mess into a message for the good people of Ghana. Obuchi will be a punishment. Sanye, sir, manifesting man, sanye, ye set standard. Now, we can hide this whole person report to ban this whole problem. Only pass reporting back once my own back on punishment. One if you're not on baby. How do we solve the problem? And in your fact, as you report 55 page, a so money problem. And then you report to by the bay do as of mine. And no one said, Nayaka. And to me, and I said, no, so one of your audio or your second topic. Until Fencham said, to him, and him a report tree, Ubi a kunipe echo free, and no one said, Nagana for come. A BSc pen, a BSc can be adding. Mamma, the examples. In two cases, stage, monthly stage, corona attack. Which means, I got an iPhone. You say iPhone doesn't exist, we cannot have a friend and fake. So, problem in want me have a fake. And therefore, we need to minimize and eradicate the offense, the original issue. Which will be another jam. I don't want to say my yaka. Now, report your Wawaka say, Kaka wood, or say it. On one account, reference a report, you say, Kaka wood was as a result of the disturbances. Now, when the disturbances happen, then a bear way was inside the entrance fairway. You see, and it wasn't my yaka. Into the million, so one tick or Yawasi, so people who are and your bro 55 people. I am for punishment in modern. And my country said, Mamma, Nibawu, young woman is sick. The Nipa is sick to Nipenqua. If there is no justice, there will be peace. You best have as for mine with another 100 pages of paper. Into more standardized paper, no fact to associate more be as with seven. Sunny a boor mine. And Tiema, million or about on campaign because we report.
If he say, Mecrano. Time yen yambe share a draft committee dieno. Yen shall see a crown. Anna me who say a dear Enkusiaga fi say. Emery short committee dieno. Yes, sister dear, no one none ye no sana yesu nane be. Me who say, I say a known plan here what evidence, video evidence crown. Uncle Siaga. Na way. Me who say Enkusiaga into my hammer ho credit.
Emma me to one over. Madam, when you're breaking I am never young Ghana for when me and kind of crunch. You see, send this investment aside with here and demonstrate be 1,000. Let's be honest. Let's give all government the same standard of measurement, the same yardstick. I'm not fool. One can was a man who said, who can't send this for Neka? Into we 7 year Michael said, in so then you did it to send the open or turn on the born one. And Cabatan McNass as my care. And yes, solely as on mine, yes, solely what is bad and what is yes, solely and support what is good. So therefore, me too, and for 7 million, no far conscious in nature because purport Naka said, and whom he say be the place so just whom here. Yes, say what I can be out who's show who was in go to two. Said, Yan Sabine was I do him, subcepta fracture. What's in your intelligent son, a fancy police station went Barbation. Now, so therefore, do one a police station there, Shana. So why do you shoot all people? Who can Ghana for my anchor and then for some yank? And yeah. So what I say. Until one person Pepinka, until one about to say DSP Hamon, one can free, we go because of what? Because the poor cannot seek redress at court. Because the unity. The top politicians, officials involved in this offense, in negligence, they are going scot free. That is what we are talking about. Sankagboya set the precedent here. Why? Because sometimes we need to think rationally as a human being. But going forward as a nation, I think we have to let, right is right to be right and wrong to be wrong. So, Emma, I think it's the first topic. I am the BC.
If I show you any medasi, na ebia any hobium na yebeko second topic ne so na mafa akwanya we aka say mechia meda sponsors mienu as Trabias collection and slim decorations emreninti anaya anamintimi embobo bomudinti no mode beche brano na yebe na mesre etiefo adofo ahwefo say medofo bi so say opese oche airtime ne ye fanto public odi ane say obehwe na wa impost me watcha so hwe na ye pe oma follow Nokware No Nie da since 15 February ever even anya ho kra na every March June mu ho baby kra no de a ye be ma airtime of your choice ye de be ma until we ye pe now their inbox messenger into what the bar memo airtime me dofu bi no na mesa kai etie for say reverend ade ikure wan de bia na akwhye akire nti mehwehwe ato ho se mehwehwe na mehu abi efi se me pesa meka bibi na my mistake nti na me feel say wa ha menya no easy enso so ya menya no easy sa nti no mehwehwe ato ho anase mema producer me any easy wa ha say say yes week ye komo a mo behwe no de ye today Ghana news nyina wa wo behwe bia MTN free MTN ana Vodafone airtime free o hwenko ade free sponsored by Apostle Stephen Amwakon of Inner Word of God Ministry no so eba dwumadie so me say obesa ohunu dwumadie ekoso wo station enwanwaso yi a eni seso yidia agese o like station no na o like pe ebema wo me friend say prompt and say we notification said your Facebook ya no can notify with numerous of programs na eba pe na wa click na wa he ubenya de wo so pe obi a woni favorite ubenya bia kan nigye de bebre social issues ni news into ubenu se ubenya niema bebre wo so a ebeye wo nigye into ne yebeko second topic na no so in no particular order de wa ready bia ebetimi aba me akọ second year the national second topic ni mu mebra se makata aba into na education ya time ni nyina na yete examination leakages yete pa but I say free SHS for die ye bibi into no constant wasi examination leakage in can be say WAEC because no na me it's in what could be the cause of the recent constancy in the leakage of WAEC examination questions. Anna Dietosuminu so say, what does this portend for the future of this country? What can be done to arrest this worrying phenomenon? Into no when no munyina ye hawa aba at yetedro ana ye mreno na I can say social media any on it and na my ana because ya chicha Crawford diemu na say ba
Emma Diza made a civil where the mebo bibi taw na matwa
semakata
but Emma Diza outmenka okay me yet sure say Emma Diza and Timenka but Minia Evans you made a statement incorrect. Osi Kaka Wu was triggered by the disturbances. Kaka's death was pronounced on 28th of July 2021. And a year disturbances took place on 29th. Indeed, there is no way his death could have been premised on the disturbances. It means that statement, it is not correct. And I mean to give me when is there once you did not speak to the reference point I did my committee, as if say you are delving into other areas and yet premised on the references I did my committee, it once now can me feel say but opinions as they say are like noses obia de ebonanim. These are my call the second topic say examination leakages. For me, I would look at it from the point say as a country, these are what say no kind say even momo bresokra nede. These issues have been there from ages. It has been there from ages. And as a country, you're more homogeny. Now, me, because I was and now I am in the educational fraternity, no, I have a lot of stories to tell when it comes to these examination or practices I had a course on. These are measures here, the net here, say previously, now a individuals be and a pet connection at WAEC. Normal day, koto questions no. Normal naba various schools ababe de ababe pe amount for normal collaborating normal de ton questions na mama. But and then because of the advent of a social media no, very easy to access this information. And me as a teacher, I know this for a fact. And yen throw na midi. Say when they bring the questions in some schools, teacher questions no way you be their fast here. Then they go and print and make copies. But what I say, then some of them will go and hide somewhere and begin to even solve. We say, and nay, uko schools nibi or that is what is going on. Almost questions no when it is submitted. Now, photocopies, then amount for baby almost solve the questions no at the AMA students. Okay, that is going on, and I know that for a fact, said the American. I know that for a fact. I'm not here to lie about anything. It is a fact that is going on. And why is these things are these things happening? Why are these things happening? They are happening because of one. Yen nipankasa ye war manum no yen attitude towards cheating. Me fan say about 99% of nipa a war manum no would want to cheat. About 99% of nipa a war manum would want to cheat. Into one, when you go to WAEC for edumedia, get any say mo nipa munni nipa mo employ omo as your staff as a mo ye examination on betche so enti mo use a teacher for and mo share mo so ye de edi mamo. The question is who fa nipa na na ba be hwe enso so no, how are you sort of treating nipa no in terms of remuneration? How di be nipa no am wetimi aye committed to adwuma na wo ye de oye no. Intino se wo kofa teacher ni na one man no ebia 10 cedi after every invigilation. That's a student ebetimi akeka ho abom enya onye invigilation ba kunwie no ye mano ebia 1,000 Ghana cedis. Let me be a bit moderate. Ye man 1,000 Ghana cedis. Any say okwa akwaji eye 10 cedis every wire konoma. Sabi nipa dodo na se uyi nipa ebia emudu agina ho a unya emumienu ombeka se ye de ye beji 10 cedis ni eja eye 1,000 cedis na ebia ebefri kona bia ye de abaye botom no. So entine kwan a wayek for na nkasa efa so treaty omo for omo hwe so eno no eye one of the key reasons in tia saadi we de ekoso. And now, me, the fact that ye can examination body a war on many more a year why can kwano. I think say and also so a one of the major problems. It is for me, if I am to give any advice, say on mine, I believe say ye open up, ne pay other examination bodies and no, maybe a student, na se me babe ye so here I can choose which of the examination body are many because this problem no, it has been there in existence for all these years. Sa problem na yede ewo. So enti no why can no say issues way ba as a country no kwan be so ene e fa handle no. Omuya investigation ya change student bia so ya yesi but why ko na sa problems no emanate from no why for no kwan be so and I idea mafa over the years. It's for me, I see say one, oko eye why kwa. It's like a cartel be normal ayede. I build or a binom their yomu business. When it is examination time, they look at the vulnerability of students, because students there obia person or passing so it can be obefa so ebi obetimi a passing no obefa so. But at least more and more yet the examination, but the more that was mutimi put 2 measures in place, mbetimi dia kateli sa happenings way. But over the years, akoso, nothing is happening to the people working at WAEC. And near Babet now, near Kamwasem, the following year, a besan day, akoso. That is a big problem for us to deal with as a country. And for me, it is based on our attitude. Your penchant and now your penchant of wanting to cheat the system and no end yet the cause of all of these things. And you know, yes, you blame WAEC for one, you blame a year education and penny for it's and say almost so no almost supervisor and so you know. A teacher for also so a day a womb. So because one the league system biaba emadiza league system nintino and the school bia per se WAEC e de sa league ni ba ye mo ni school din say ni school na di kan and me feel say sa unnecessary challenger and I say I can see a course no and also because me share crazy na so hwe ni beba na ye say me
that is say Bruni Becca say publicity stance.
Exactly. So, intino, se me yes me district away any other na fe ye bomb tutu near. Definitely, the next time me so no kwan bi a me fa so a me ma bi a me school say wo me region and me district in so abom ho modern me fa so, and that is leading to some of these leakages I heard. Intino, this is a problem. As a country, we need a national dialogue to make sure say you bet me ape sa dear kosono because it is giving the country a bad name. And young one was say a baby bedroom who cra Ghana certificate crana so what they call a year outside of Ghana. It will be scrutinized because what we are experiencing and yet and at the time ye pese ye build ye man and now free education aba eboa ema omo ni bi eko school no eke wasi etimi sanitizing system no then we get the right people
Timi pacha ubra na ye bra abro so ntin udi si amaye no me de ba ko ne so
enti emadiza de me kan say WAEC a problem ye nipa ye wo oman no mu nsusu ne ye problem. And you know, we need to have a broader consultation on how you basically manage your exams. And me suggesting they say WAEC, I believe say because of say omono omaye quantum cra omone share and so no. It does not give them any needs omo be share aye and share papa ama and so etimi aye de akoso yi. Intinu say betimi anya other bodies are almost be organizing exams at the ama students. I believe say sa adieno tucha ebeboa ama sanity abayen so hweyem Ghana.
Yo me da se pa makoto me gadget mono ene ya o intini wie mu hweye na mu ntimi ntena me sunsum so intim pa cha say ye fa ne sen me bra Evans I ready on meto asomai enti en mu hweye na ne ya amatom no me dofo bi atom na chemi nti mu hweye mu de enya dada no matom no soko nti I should have a smooth internet way connection.
Yo, many about Emma. Okay, but what
Me pacha mete onka.
I say many atakasa ye. Na my menu as I say. Me ba he kasa me kasa bi ni wa out of the report. So o kasi me say mention say o do wa fa na PDF fa na on her findings one. Me kasa nim na me can report ni say near trigger disturbance and the death of Kaka, my man, findings one, we note from the onset that an examination of the entire evidence obtained clearly demonstrates that the death of Mohammed Ibrahim, aka Kaka, served as the catalyst that triggered the disturbances which took place in Edra on 28-29. So what is he saying? In the message, I'm checking friends and report to me. If you're not, if you're can we. So I say, "Inti me no pa na meti every ho." You see, Emma, you see school issues. Yes, ampa. Brand answer. This leakage of exams across to Ghana. In effect, she said, affected the quality of education we are putting up there, understand? And then enhance student level competition and accurate, so I say. Because they are both how and advantage in that perspective, so I say. But baby, I'm pretty free say. I say say the education is a formal education. Now you say a question be say adena and need ya akosrosa. But a very free baby and maybe brave. I think say indeed corrupt nature suppose wayek and can say because so be na mo hwe yen so and security aspect of questions in you guys mo custody enti eba saying na say be etimi creepy out before I'm corona control questions. I think say when meet make say there's some sort of corrupt nature how people are doing business because people are doing business illegal to make it corrupt, you understand? So yeah. Until name should say say I think children the students have lack of preparation. Lack of preparation form said be so can ban we back lack of preparation from because even till now students in their textbooks. These are some of the things that affect the quality of education. But at the end of the day, you are expecting say the teachers will deliver, and then the students will also going to deliver at the end of the exam day. But in the situation, they are not delivering because textbooks are winning. And now one of the issues I think say, I conscientize youth now. Many man say, you need to do baby one way or other be a yes to say be a way to cheat. But procurement of past questions is one of the things that I think say it mean my kwana dream I want to be say because that's what expected be. Because I think say one as a bank say okay, education itself it's a formal education and you training you pass from the 1 to 3 and you learn a lot. Do most of course now makes it, but this the situation is okay. No, we are not going to focus on the thing you are. The curriculum, but you top past questions amount. I remember saying at time past questions our own. Expense. Yes, 10 edition question. But about when the one past question on the moment, you say you are telling people not to learn. It's not directly to the people, but you see, Nipa be we are rational thinkers. And me, I think that approach and so I said, fano, nationalistic approach, it was wrong. Because people have been educated. But I said, education is a form of education, and you're training on, and not for exams. Exams can go school, be able to pass question, no pass, no continue. But you learn a lot. Because I think say my brother will testify, say, even you had this young. So you finance a bit of programming. I think that he confirmed that. Maybe finance, maybe programming, but they'll let you learn programming. So to build you up as we facing a fence. The world is not living on a fence on everything on the digital. So these are some of the levels I did student be from prior to your fence or do exam. But you see, I am a person as a man. You focus on the problem, but not to see say or criticize your person. You don't like, but anka pony panasem. But sabah when there's a problem number, mama yanka. A problem existed that, but when say as in the social bad ebe was situation. The master said, the quality of education has been on the time. It is gradually declining. Even baby, so the Ghana education paper baby. It's very, very difficult. And then I learned and to Carboni, I say very soon we have to write a fence entrance before we go to the university. So where are we going as a country? So I say. Until now, we say a day being a bay going forward as a nation should prepare for the future. Because the human capital is the base, is the future of for national development. Until you go any man, let's see me and education or so I say. Being it free or whatever it is, no. Let's see me and convey. It comes with investment in infrastructure. Because you know, say Ghana, as we speak, your infrastructure huge deficit. Because you know, can say, a man forced to go school with me, I say. So what you say? I feel being a then SEA have a skill base and a program tailored towards the labor market. I remember, say, John Dramani Mahama time, no, on the stakeholders of HCI, I'm not because there's a mismatch between the labor market demands and the student coming out, understand? Because Obia Koya, I said, there is no, I mean,
Yo, any article idea, yebeshe, Mr. Semak Atawa, on be my final conclusion na yen share so otimi remwa na aye watwa so amaye. Ntino.
Yeah, Emma Diza.
Yes, sweet brother.
Midasi bebre. Intino said yeah cano and it said I think say I am agreeing with Miniano on this call because when it comes to education, a national issue. But you see, NDC4, I have a problem with them. While Korea will say this issue has been in existence, but now no opesa or say as a MPP and a problem number. So which one do you want us to agree with? So it is a problem, a national problem. We should find solutions to the problem as a country because the effect edibebano enye maye as a man. So enye maye as a man. And for me, not everything that was here dear politics. Enye bibia na was here dear politics. So and the politicization of issues, no a year NDC for dead. It does not help. It does not help. The attorney said, a problem I face as a man. How do we deal with it? So because say you can't examination leakages are me can say infrastructure minim baby infrastructure a year directly going to solve the problem of leakages. Infrastructure yin say you that deficit no and Osha MPP abanya or born homodin. Imagine that the last time you saw me say Kumase school ben e wo honoma and ne okọ honoma aban no NCC adan e wo school no aban no is making sure say or expanding the infrastructure all the existing schools. The government is solving the issue of infrastructure. Into that one, it is being dealt with. And
that's right.
Yeah, now you perceive say I say aban no emfa 4 years and solving all the problems we have as a country. It is not possible. It is not possible
really?
Because we are building a country. And building a country, no, a process. It is not an event.
But Semakata meba mukakra na makebia. On say nana fit year no one. Intino Senka Adiebi Dana Kumaswe very important bia. He should have started in his first term. If he said
which of the promises are all starting here?
School no dear now or best started from scratch and 350 no. The last time everybody has done
the last time the last time I told you, say, uye efie penny, wakwa kodru fie. Ukodru fie no, na wadwen ni say, ukofia, kwa kofa ebia nipa 50, edi omo akọ eye soldier. Ukodru fie no, wakwa ko hu say, say nipa 50 wo fie wo nyina me de omo ko soldier emwa because ye be here teacher ni, ye be here lawyer, ye be here we. So you have to re-strategize and make sure say you solve the existing problem no and sana there would you one kind of be no why they what to one among and that is what is happening because no question me say you could see 300 and I'm telling you Emadiza no cranny say sa school adan aban sisi in the existing schools no senka okase wo see sa ankran schools na and kasa 350 now can you see hm. Yes, wow. But the thing is, abaya or ye very proactive. Na sebi onim se when there is an existing problem, you deal with the existing problem. Now when you say mashebo say intinu chinchina, I was say me koye. Now at the end of the day, no, the existing problem no is still widening. Intino, I'm telling you, go to every school, every secondary school in Ghana now. Ubehu one building or the other. Koso. Ebimu ye completed. Anybody that the other day me catch us say go to all the various schools. Media person. Can believe says information with you. Senye say be a politics.
I know.
Senye politics now. Say who was our information?
Oh, I know the because but that wasn't the promise. That's the difference.
And I mean,
those time, during JM Mills time, a coso. It's in a shut down here. One bia say a super something on because what we were expecting was starting from the scratch.
Over 3,000 buildings. Yes, you see, in the existing schools, I expanded infrastructure, and you know, it is nothing.
Oh, and America say, America say it's nothing. No, me say, dear Mills, Muhammad time, ABC. And for 4 times ABC, into that one is not a news.
Exactly.
But news, you know, is 350 schools starting from the scratch. That one is news. The amene wokano woka ya mako check it ebi wo baby almost high school Kumasi girls St. Louis ebi but yeah no yeah 350 no me call and Mr. Dama ya me from 2008 the Mills Mahama yeah me ko hu bi o KNUST me ame de me bisa o mo chere me ebi wo ho ebi kwa ya wie nkola na ko ebi si common fund ebi si ade Kumasi girls chese Wesley school Prempeh College me ko ni nyina my research ni nyina I know but they're starting from the scratch no and none the and none the anyho
Emma Diza me
in action
yo me da se pass watimi agiatum say no kwasem ni
say
school bia yeti akoba ne say we are solving a particular problem enunti ene hu anya say existing schools no mum ene wo say ye try see e be expanding so obeka ya president mama schools o sisi ye no say be bia o sisi binum esi ye no amanfo entimi nko school wo ho and MPP aban afande say ye ma edan ni si ho ense kwa it is say most of the buildings no ye build boarding facilities e dey aka ho e be attract students am my dey o mako and you know that is a government or ye very proactive now when him say problems or how we solve problems ye make problems no worse and you know that act we are solving the problems we have in our infrastructure, educational infrastructure. No, we are solving that problem. That is that. But the American say examination more practices are air course no. Me mom dear. me when say the fact that WAEC and Kwane the only examining body, no, that is the reason why Emma problems were a keep on and on. And now ye can the abani can echina say yan share and no kwanya. We will come back to discuss the same issue. Because one, ye ni pana ye war man no said ye mekano. We want to cheat at every point in time. That is our attitude. And Emma Diza, you cannot deny that fact. Because students be about the school or pekwan or be fast or be pass.
And no dear.
Into the student in a call be fast or be passing. So feel so cheska on your results ni free and answer when your papers ni free baby and a bemana pass your but what we the examining body no and she say ben and now they are two also that is where the problem is. That is where the problem is. And for me, one, WAEC, so mo be ye omo adwuma yi a, omo for omo ye your friend is saying, invigilation no, they should make sure some be there. Omo de so ani a omo no obi di bibi ba be so omo ye omo and two, the fact that they print papers all the way from Accra, na distribution chain no so long. Within that distribution chain, no, one of my recommendations would be say, at least enka every district biano, WAEC as an examiner body no, omunya a printing press, a bewo honum, a banisa, the distribution a very shorter. These kind of discrepancies are the Emma questions no out no. And solve the problem no entirely there, but a bit near to Sukaka. But so printing question and the dear free Accra, Edeba, also the police ni atna ebia kamu, police ni no, any nipa or mobile no munina nipa. They can be enticed in any way. I'm almost like I submit it. But what I say, because and then nipa essence say obey protecting the integrity. So, nipa any discount say obey essence obey protecting the integrity. For me, the problem is with WAEC. The problem is with yen nipa ye wo on my no. And I believe say systems should be put in place. I bet media keteli sa happenings, because a good ye man no anymore say. A good ye man anymore say. Yo, Emma Diza, Intino, and ne Jumediano, said the medical canon. There should be a national dialogue. Na yenshe, entnase, as of mine, yempe a better way. You bet me examination bodies are exams, no, at least the integrity of every exam say no, you bet me highly protected. And for me, I think that this calls for a national dialogue. Na adwenkyerenya de embra. Na yehunu kwan be fa so e be sisade we anu kwan. And I said, WAEC kan so na ya e kwan omo fa so e hwe omo nipa omo ye vigilance ni ade no. Omo mpe kwan pa bi so mfa omo the better remuneration e be ma omo so no achi omo afri say omo kwaje bribe any ade. And na afin so no. Ye decentralize printing processes no. Ye mfa nko district level. At least in your district level, the regional level there, before say betimi aboa kakra. Now, in terms of your friends, a distribution chain, a son take kakra. Now, you printing questions free in crime. Near the all the various, sa crime theater and not quantity, a betimi ama corruption near the adi bibriade, a coswama questions night day, a pia bonting, because and then on my muni padu nani corrupt, and we want to get money. In easy fashion. Oh, and then only a problem, no. And
easy way out syndrome.
Yeah, we are corrupt by nature. Into this one far and branding systems and move on one, ubeti see Sanya Manano Kwaya, given the opportunity to be a bayer, the Abema Sikaye de Abani Butum. That is our problem, and that will be some of the suggestions I may say abino. Now on making sure say you bring a national dialogue to solve these problems.
Me da se pa na me hwe say me bra Ivan Saba. Ai ti pa cha obeto aso amaye. Yeah, the emre ba ko ni nyina be count wo be 15 minutes.
Okay. Okay. Emma me da ase. Say. Em this year na me ka be. Me no e kasa o ka say ohun say e fe ne say infrastructure will help, but say ye hwe or how na e leakages na. I think say ye hwe in generality in affected them by education so ankasa. So what I say. And no be ni a war a be octopus effect. I see a free. I mean other sources of a day or how we by the fence. A sando how ba school so a year this ankasa ye can this once. Inti say bio ye nuanu no ka say who can mam na do it clear. I want say politics. E be a politics ne be na one inti say politics ni a leader making a decision. That's what I say. Inti adentina we make a decision na obi fe say obi fe ona onya adwen a criticize wa it's in your own good because no say on try say you say the tia den achia. Inti me ni say as far as the leader is taking decision in respect to governance now bibi ebe bia no you the leader we need to question you. Inti it doesn't make it politics. But we bisa say my can ebi ho anase ni ho. Eh no cre. Inti what make it politics? So what I say? Inti so what say who say be solve a problem. Ye musa say e den e ko ba ye ko ba say student dem prepare ye. Because me no ka say on no be confirm say come an ye ko school and ye 5 months 4 months to school sana we mu twa na. E den na akofa ba infrastructure issue. So infrastructure ni ho na fi aband system say okay sadia because a student ent me nsua de enye nothing anything. You top pass question which is exam based in my it affects what do you call it, the quality of education. Until therefore, say your boba infrastructure based new way. Now say student can go to school without this green yellow thing. It's in a way also reducing this form of offense and more partisanship because I know can human beings in nature are corrupt to understand. In terms of crown go school nuclear entire a term nuclear already also corrupt now one man angle. So I say. So I think say to me say infrastructure based on case and politics. It's not politics. Because me no say education is I'm not forced to go school in Riase. We need to fight for this as a nation. That's what I say. I feel some can't possibly say national dialogue. You see, sometimes one more because will be a politics. As Professor CS to Ghana, I call it several times. There is a problem with the policy implementation of the free teachers. And Kayantas Nyashe, because I buy Buana. So what I say, he knows it. He doesn't give ear to some of these things. Into your bed, then dialogue on this. I agree with you that the decentralization of and printing of papers is 100% suggestion is good. So I say, but we cannot shift from the truth. So I say, in an octopus way. Or how maybe a source of problem like the leakage by fencing, exam fencing, exam system. And infrastructure to me and forget it because free education is getting more students into the classroom. People can't get a place to sit. So what I say, I don't see one of the areas as a man. And you see, I think say or can I sample see say and then infrastructure because also say they don't need 5 years to to expand the what do you call it infrastructure. They need more than that. Why do you say this? And I say, oh yeah, we meet number projects be 10. The Mahama community day. And now so be no big casana ya pussy room. You see, that's my wanka. And when you see school see depend on. Some of this now can on politics. I didn't casaka way. Here, I'm not for school green yellow. Busan say bois. A Dennis was a qua. Inti Emma, she has seen us a Kasama eat party. I let them pinpoint. So I said, say na buy yes, okay, the whole guy, the whole Kumasi school be a project. Where community day and we see room, one boa, Emma. Where Pacoso, meeting up Bobesi 15 Okumasi. Mr. said, Asante Mamunka, are going to me cry a finishing Yamahama, do you think our student, our people will be going to
school no crowd, yes, say, many are my mebemua. Kumasi Kumaka ene Jache Pram so Prempe College ni nyina na esimrem ne kro ni nyi koto no ye swane nyina 80s ni nyina ye hu se schools no ukwa sister school a St. Louis St. Monica's ni nyina na ewonrem nti ekro ni developing no na beto school no nti school kra de ensi krom na expansion project na so de aban bi aba oye me findings ana etre me nti no eno say no obi aba o nti nheda anya big deal.
You see, I'm per se
If I tell customer me,
I'm per se yeah, we have to be honest with ourselves when I say it's a Parkos community day school, Agrekenzema, Banka community, Adubura, Adujama, Dobonso. When na sentiment was on training or you see, Asuso, Adanse, Tepa. When na school, a dry yaka was for first topic, community day schools are people inside. The last time I was in Ghana, Adenta filling station. Nice one was there. When you should there. Intimidating the leakages as a main, what do you call it, a subject on it without talking about its effect on the quality of education. Because the students in now pass a corona subject to a first one medication. So where are we going as a country? So these are the things. So when I say no, this be specific. You see, one became infrastructure because they know, say, for the past 5 years, when me pinpoint say, na yaya. You see, now I say, asante hen and penifon, when can say we move? Make I say a man now a fencing, when part agenda one, or he now would not or two for the name of the other. Say, I Ghana for say, one genie, one say, a year, say what the only. It's just a sample motivation. You see, these are things I can say. You need to mean there. Yes, why the installation of papers and blah 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 and the crop nature of it. I think even partnership, private partnership with a WIAC exam board. I think say a bit me aboa, but I think it's a framework because see Russia as a nation, I don't know the now quite more worse than as a year. But again, I first say see a education for medable party. Yes, planning infrastructure is also one. Now, the idea of going to procure fencing, pass question for students is bad. I think government should supply textbooks because textbooks from the basic, but beyond family because they want the everybody base now then every the secondary school. And you cannot leave this fact and go and stand at the top. So you are talking about the leakages of exam. These are the basic, these are the foundation of which as part of a course this kind of leakages. And in education is a page actually of money that. Into Tunasia. Yeah, that's near Tunasia. Intima, I'm saying, Kakramit media about education and
okay, Mate, na mekoswa na mada ya yadofo ahwefo so ase na semakata ewo final conclusion bi o ho a ebre na ebiwom or final rebuttal ebi o ho a obetimi a rebuttal na ono eso abisum na yehu ne yede akogu
yo emadiza nze minia Evans neno I don't know, but when we talk of infrastructure I believe say maybe yenya time na yenhwe eniema ni yie. At the time MPP ebeso aban no mu no na in terms of enrollment na say in the existing schools a increase over 35%. Ebra free SHS there ebaye no
eno de
so into the numbers that we had in the existing schools no there is no way as a policy be say now go to school who be me at taking all those numbers no into no schools need be what dada and opesa o kire say Mahama sabi day schools now CCN MPP has not done anything. That is not true. That is not true. And there are evidences. Say most of the schools are a war a chronitono. And these are now what can say Prempene wo emuram ni ade. Prempe wo muram na boarding school. Nobody will build a day school, not their kwakwesi muram.
Said and come back to me up school buses.
Exactly.
School buses. Na ebo enkwala ko school. Na ya pe security aye tight.
Enti no eno na yen ya adwene no. Yen ya ban adwene ne say ye beye ne sa no, let us build boarding facilities. Name and accommodate enkwala beye de. Because that is what we are doing. Everything is on course. But the attorney say, many even senior anti-ASIA say, governance and now say solving problems. No, it is not an event, a process. Omwa buying, senka. Oka say still schools did that in Yasino. NDC has had governance stints for 27 years out of the 62 and 64 years as a minor. NDC how much did they solve the problems in our educational infrastructure? How much did they solve it? But what did they meet? Senka, problem, you solve it, and MPP by almost CCB, and we are dealing with the problem. So the problem, yes, are we solving the problems? Yes. And I gave you example. Go to each of the secondary schools that we name minimum. There is some form of expansion going on, and you cannot deny it. One can say, what confirm it. And that is a way of solving the problem. Intermediate events, infrastructure problem, solve it. But the enemy can say, you can't examination leakages. For me, and me, my infrastructure no will be a secondary consideration, and yet primary. Infrastructure no nye primary because akwala ne kwa train so we na so kwa cheating no systems be na was you put in place na educately infrastructure no there we are still on it ho adwuma these are educational problems no many events na ya diatum say as of mind we need to solve the problem, and that is what this government is doing. Government in the no on sabi on chichire ne nsangu ni bo. The problems are being solved. A lot of students are being enrolled into our educational system. You know, MPP Aban is doing the best that we can, and it is the best you can ever talk of under this Fourth Republic. No government can ever compare itself to a year infrastructural progress also in second cycle schools. No government. No government can compare to this Akubadu's administration.
Yo, it's no what you see am I.
Me dance the break.
It's no obechi our dog for na ya see.
Emma these are me dance the break say na wa makwenya say me nchia adofo ene nchia kese enko emfama eye mi ankasa me dofo akosi adobia baby a wo otie eye okunu kwankwachi bia no me chiao afen so enchia kese enko emfama eye awa menua awa Berlin enchia enko emfama afen so eye opon oduku opon medasi bebre any contributions are or they support to this program nyame sha afen so me chia eye Nana Boating eye communications director and afen so no the attorney say afia ye ba besimu no eye MPP Germany ye kwa abato nti enchia kese enkonfama prospective candidates nyina obi a waye na adwen say obeba befa forms no a contest bia no enchia kese enfankoma obi bia afen so imadiza wankasa mechiao ene wadi dwumana mmani aso ohun so aye fa yie pa nti mema na wo se omo wachi no me ka krom se ne oba
yo medase
insuo doko ni bi ema wonom ansa na medase bebre
medase nyankopon hira oso saa me pa cha matemeka Miss Medase. It's a patch on me bra Evans or what?
No, how massive. Who's that? My issue will be that we are not offer infrastructure and I can say. And we are secondary matter. Now, no one can textbook. Textbook, they have been fair to education. Have been fair to examination leakages and the past questions. So, what I say, and you know, miniata, in American, they say, you see, Mupa program say, won't mean can you won't mean more one project. Now because then the be a secondary school or project work. Bodi mama udin 10. Bodin say na yes see. You didn't say secondary school A. You see, be specific. Near can say. Abai bason. Again na why. Who can say any gusu and a gusu. Now say 1 year no be in can after 27 years na man DC. Saba we mu the baby year. Mu the baby year for 1992. Obi to 16 years. Infrastructure pen na my in terms of education. And this is 3 universities. Yeah, university that's an kind. What can I say enrollment increase? Yes, enrollment increase here. Argentina value for money, because value for money. NDC projects a year days community discussion. I don't know abandon. So what is say community discussion ke ho sanka mutimi ne ye mutimi wi ni na mo the student ikoma. Ubi sanka me no ka senka. Ye ni omko green blue. Inti enu say na ye ka ho asem. Inti e metra nka say na yesi 5 years ni. Musim be sitting the munti back. Into can say, oh, it's here Adujama, Yankee in Aqua. And there be a expansion. More in terms of education, you kind the history of Ghana. And Panya, we include where investing heavily in education is the NDC. You know, university in our hall. It's the region more with you. So many universities our hall. 123 community days through across the country. Won't make it specific. School paying the mercy in this years. 5 years.
Into me, Brian Evans, young fancy natural Wadofonian cotton, a brand I break.
Yo, I'm a dealer. I'm a dasher. This dynamic as a before there. When you're hearing cancer, I was a secondary school in a was Yegusu. You say you're not 8 years, nothing. You Emma Mecha one Casamedas, say Ugusu, Munyam Remai, just said Micha Amarus. Now Mecha, your founder, and okay. Now Dr. Lauren, Dr. Michelle, BBO, after Michelle Madofunina, Madame Back, your friend Espiro, Nafi, a friend Bobo Canada, Nina Micham, Michino BBA, Mentimia Mundi, and T. Radinko BBA, Emma, no, my pass. Now, best as a Sebu program me a Yagana and Yin Niagin. So, Ebia Kabibianku, yeah, number the Yako and Masoman. It was so done and said Ghana, ever fun to my pepper, if we said you about one in some. Na a say NDC for you na so me mamunyina say Manchester at munyina brand na ye say Ghana for say muntu aban we because yan hwe ya or the abandonment abusuafo nti breaking 8 no is a must because the lawlessness is too much, the corruption is high ceiling, cronyism is too much, the borrowing Emma rather can obi bia ho Ghana.
Okay.